Hey everyone, this is Michelle with Foxy Chick Designs and Magnolia Design Company with our Saturday morning chalk and sip. You know what? I actually need to grab, I don't know if I can grab them or not. I need to grab my glasses. And while I'm making sure that I'm live and popped on here, how is everyone doing this Saturday morning? Let's see here. Hey everyone, if you're popping on, if you will give me a thumbs up and say hello so I know that you're here. We are going to get started here in just a minute. Need to get this shared a few places. Sorry, I can't talk this morning. You would think with it being 8:30 that I'd be doing just fine. Let me see here. I'm having trouble. Oh, there we go. There we go. Hey, Lori. Thanks for popping on. For those that are popping on, what are you drinking this morning? Hi, Digil. Hopefully I said that right. Good morning, good morning. All right, I've got my iPad going this morning so that I can see comments. Hey, Deb. Nothing? Believe it or not, Lori, for our first chalk and sip actually being called that, yeah, I didn't grab anything. Let's see. I can't. There we go. Now I can see comments. Yay! We're finally, I think, up and running. I'm going to grab my glasses so I can actually see. Sorry, you're seeing my bed. Hey, Rhonda. Oh, you're one of Deb Clark's fans. Oh, thank you so much for popping on. I appreciate that. Deb, thank you so much for sharing my videos. My name is Diana, but 90 people call me Di. Oh, okay, perfect. I just didn't want to mispronounce your name, Diana. Di, whichever you prefer. Thank you for popping on. I appreciate you guys hopping on here. First things first, if this is the first time that you are popping on to one of my videos, if you will comment with a number 1, and if you've cut my videos before, if you would comment with a number 2, then for you that are popping on live, if you will comment #live, and for those that will be watching later, if you will comment #replay. As I said before, let me introduce myself. My name is Michelle Fox, and I have been with Magnolia Design Company since January, and I absolutely love their products. And I've learned to play with them. I'm enjoying them. I love what they create. So this morning, I am going to create with our Scrabble letters. We have an entire set of letters that look like Scrabble tiles. Hey, Melanie, thanks for popping on. And I'm going to do a welcome sign. The other stencil that I'm going to use this morning is I'm going to use our mini plaid. I love the mini plaid. I love it around Christmas time for the Buffalo Plaid. It's one of my favorites. But I'm going to try to, incorporate this mini plaid into my board. Then I'm just going to use a set of classic colors. I'm going to use our coal black and our bright white are the two colors that I'm going to use this morning. I'm in the Buffalo Plaid. I'm going to do that in black. The board that I have is just a piece of just scrap wood that I stained a cherry wood color. And cherry wood is probably my favorite stain color. If you watch me long enough, you will see this color more than you see anything else. So I stained it and I waxed it. And for those who are looking for different products, the stains that I use, now this is my classic gray, the stains that I use are by Minwax, and they are the penetrating stain, and you can even see I have some of the cherry wood on this can, but if I'm going to get a stain, I'm going to get a Minwax wood finishing penetrating stain. They've got dozens and dozens of colors, and they go on really nicely, they clean up really nicely, and with my stencils they just seem to work really nicely. So if I'm going to get a stain, I'm going to get a Minwax stain. And then for my wax, that when I stain something or I paint a board that is not a chalkboard or it's not a Magnolia surface, I throw some of this bad boy on, and it's a paste finishing wax. I cannot speak this morning. It protects, and it just puts a barrier between the stain and my stencil, so that if I'm using a brand new stencil, it's not going to pull up any of that stain or any of that paint. Hey Robin, thanks for popping on. I get mine in the natural color. I will show you. I have had this for over a year, and I craft often. Hey Diane, how are you guys doing? Thanks for popping on. This is all that I've used, and you can see where the top is. So a can of this will cost you about $7, but it will last you a very long time. I mean, I use multiple surfaces, so I'm not always using my wax, but even if I'm doing layers, sometimes if I cannot get my layers to look crisp, I'll throw on some wax in between the layers so that it just puts a barrier between the chalk paste that I've already put down and the new layer that I'm using. So this stuff right here, this finishing wax, has become my absolute best friend. It lasts forever. It's I think I paid like $7.97 at Menards, and it really does last forever. So now that we've gotten into products, now we're going to get started. I'm going to go ahead and change my cameras around so that you can see the overhead, so that you can see what we're going to be creating today. All right, there we go. Let me adjust this a little bit. All right. So this is my board and my paste, and this is one of the stencils we're going to be using, and then we're going to be using our Scrabble Letters, and I've pulled out the word welcome. So I'm going to go ahead and get my chalk paste open and get them all stirred up. They will come, some of them will come looking like they're ready to rock and roll. Like you could just start dipping and painting with them. Mine, I always like to give them a good stir. So I just add a little bit of distilled water, and I grab one of my little stir sticks, and I just give it a good stir. And I just make sure that all that water is stirred in. And plus, before I close up my paste, I spray a little bit of water in there. So if I don't use a color for a little bit of time, it's really no big deal. And if I don't use my colors a lot, then usually once or twice a week, I try to get in here and get them stirred, just so that they last longer. So I'm just going all the way around the edge, making sure that all of this is stirred up. Size plaid. Deb, I believe this is the 8.5 by 11. It's the one that comes with the plaid and the polka dot stencil. So I believe this is an 8.5 by 11. Okay, so there's my black, and I've got it all stirred up and ready to go. So I'm going to just set that stir stick aside, and I'm going to set my black aside. Then I'm also going to get my white open. And my white I use a lot, so my white usually doesn't need quite as much loving care as what some of my other pastes do. So I'm going to just get in there and give that a good stir up as well. And I do have a little bit of the crusty stuff around the edge. So I'm going to just get that all off. Might have to do that in your chalk mini ice and rod. Okay. So this I've got all good and stirred up. And I'm just going to wipe off my stir stick and make a mess on my board and stuff. But that's the fun part of chalking, is making a mess. And I always have these handy dandy little disinfectant wipes on my desk. 1, to help clean my stencils. 2, to help clean my hands. Hey, Lindy. My bestie just popped on, and I'm very excited. Okay, so now that I have both of my pastes ready to go, I'm trying to decide, and maybe you guys can help me with this. Do I want to do the mini plaid across the entire board and then put the letters on top of it? Or do I want to put a little bit of mini plaid at the top and a little bit at the bottom and kind of frame it in? Or do I want to put just a little bit of the mini plaid on the 2 sides? Suggestions? I'm kind of thinking the top and the bottom. That's kind of what I'm thinking with. What do you guys suggest? I was either thinking just a little bit at the top and a little bit at the bottom, or doing the whole board in the chalk or the mini plaid and doing it all in black. Suggestions, quotes, comments? Top and bottom. Okay. Rhonda says top and bottom. Either will be adorable. Okay. I think I'm going to go with the top and bottom, because Rhonda thinks that's what Rhonda suggests, and Melinda suggests either way. I think I'm going to do the top and the bottom. I think that's what we'll do. So as you can see, this stencil has been very well loved. I got the stencil from a friend, and when she got her box, it had a bullet hole through it, so the stencil ended up with a bullet hole. Yeah, so that's my little story for why there's a hole in the stencil. It's kind of funny. So because this has been used a lot, it has been very well loved. It's still usable, it's still sticky, but I don't need to lint it at all, because it will stick just fine either way. So I'm going to lay this down, and let me get you guys in view. What?
What he was doing, I just got up.
Oh, okay. You know what? Actually, if you would tell me your opinion, and I will put it for you. Okay. Okay. Actually, I'm going to lay this way so that you guys can see it. Because laying it the other way, you can't see very well. My lighting is not great in here. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up right here. And I was thinking I had some washi tape. Oh well, don't need the washi tape. We're just gonna wing this. Okay, so I'm probably gonna do maybe 3 lines of the Buffalo Plaid on each end. So I'm going to grab my little squeegee, and they come like this, and I cut them down into 2. Hey, Miss Owens, thanks for popping on. How are you? All right, so now that I've got this all down, I'm going to smooth it just one more time. And I'm just going to go from this line, and I'm just going to squeegee across. And you can see I have a little bit of a bubble, but I'm not real worried about it because I'm not real concerned if it's not super crisp. All right. Alright, I'm just working in that little section there, going all the way across, and then I'm just going to squeegee up the excess, making sure that there's no excess hanging around, and I'm going to squeegee that back into my jar, set my squeegee aside, and then I'm just going to lightly pull this up. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. And then I'm going to flip my board around. And I'm going to lay this up here again in the same little area. And I'm going to grab my black squeegee again, grab some chalk paste, and I'm just going to work my way across. And I've got, of course, chalk paste on my hands. Don't worry about getting messy. It cleans up. Our chalk paste is water soluble, so your stencils clean up really well. Your hands clean up really well. Alright, so now I'm just squeegeeing up the excess, getting it back in my jar. And then I'm going to set that aside. And as you can see, I'm a mess. So then I'm just going to pull this up very gently. Ooh, I like it, I like it. And then I'm going to just set my stencil aside to be cleaned when I'm done. And I'm going to grab just my little wipe that I keep on my desk. And get that all cleaned up. Okay. Now I have a nice little heat tool that I'm going to pull in. And I'm going to get this all dry. Okay. Now that's done. And I'm going to just let this come back to room temperature before I start working with my other stencils. And while I'm waiting for that to cool down, I'm done with my black chalk paste. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get that all closed up. And like I said, before I close up my chalk paste, I just spray a little bit of water in there. And then I close it up and sit it back on my shelf. And I have a shelf just right behind, right like back here, that I have all of my chalk paste colors sitting on, so they're easily accessible. Okay, now this is all done. So I'm gonna get all the little black specks off of it. And now we're gonna start working on our letters. And I am gonna do it vertical versus horizontal. So we're gonna have some fun with that. So then this morning when I was planning out the project, I just laid out our welcome. And they'll be a little bit closer because I'm not going to do the white border on them. And then I've got the E that'll come down on the bottom. And so then that's, you know, what it looks like. The size of the letters, Deb, are, you know what, let me see if I have my tape measure. I think they're like 3.5 by 3.5. I think the whole square is, actually I think the whole square is maybe 4 by 4. I think, because I used them on these little blocks and did the word home, and I didn't quite have enough on the edge, and I think these blocks were 4 by 4s. I think. Okay. So now that I have this all kind of configured, I'm going to leave them laid out, and I'm just going to start working with them. Because our stencils are silkscreen reusable, silkscreen adhesive backed reusable stencils, I write what it is on the back of my stencil, because once they're all clean, they will go back on this backer sheet and you can use them over and over and over again. So I'm just lifting it up off the backer sheet. You never want to pull from the corner because you could stretch the silk screen, and that you don't want to do. So I just work my way across and grab it from the middle and just work my way down. And then I just set the backer sheet off to the side. And then I'm just going to line this up. And we're not quite lined up. Okay. And I'm just going to smooth out the silk screened area, making sure that there's no air bubbles in the silk screen. So I'm going to use the actual letter and the number. I'm just not going to do the border on it. Okay. So now my white chalk paste was already ready. Hey, Missy. I'm going to just grab some white chalk paste, and I'm going to start at the top, and I'm going to work my way over the silkscreen areas, making sure that they're all filled in. But because there's that border, I'm going to be very careful because I don't want to use that border on this particular project. So I'm just going to go very slowly, making sure that all of the silkscreened areas are covered, and squeegeeing up the excess and putting it back in my jar. Then I'm going to set my squeegee aside, and I'm going to go ahead And I'm going to work my way to the middle, and I'm going to just pull it up. And voila, you've got your first letter. Hey, Gabe! Or is this Dawn? And then I'm going to just set my stencil to the side to be cleaned. Then I'm going to grab my heat gun because I'm going to get these dry in between, because some of the stencil part might overlap. Okay, got that all dry. And I'm going to just wait until that comes back to room temperature. You want it? Okay, we'll talk. Okay, so then I'm going to move on to the E. Thanks, Robin. And again, I've marked all of the back of my stencils so that I know when they're all clean where I'm putting them. So then I'm going to move this up. And I'm actually going to just use the top of the stencil to line them up. That way they'll be evenly spaced. And I'm just making sure that there's no bubbles in my silkscreen. Grabbing some more chalk paste and starting at the top. And you can start from the bottom. There's no rhyme or reason to starting from the top. I just always start from the top and work my way down. I'm just squeegeeing off the excess after I make sure that all of my silkscreen areas are completely covered. And then very gently, I'm going to work my way across, and I'm going to pull it up. And I'll get that one dry. I just like to dry them in between. That way I don't have to wait for them to dry. And you do want them to be dry when you're using other stencils so close. Just so you're not pulling up the chalk paint or the chalk paste. And then I'll just wait for that to come back to room temperature. And it doesn't take long to come back to room temperature. It really doesn't. Just a few seconds. So for you guys that are on, if you're liking what you're seeing, if you would do me a huge favor, and at the bottom of this video, right to your, let's see if you're looking at it, it's going to be to your right. There's a little button that says SHARE. Would you guys click that and share this with your friends? I'd really appreciate it. And if you've not liked my business page, my Foxy Chick Designs business page, I would invite you guys to head over there and give us a like and a thumbs up. Okay, so now we're on to the L. And again, I'm just going to use the top of the stencil to line up with the bottom of the E. And I'm just going to smooth out those silkscreen areas. Fight nice, my friends. Fight nice. Deb, you can make your own. And it's one of those that I can show you everything I did when we can get together. And I don't mind duplicating something like this because this is something I want to put in my vendor fairs because I really think they're going to sell. I'll be very honest. And there's our L. Yeah, and I'm already seeing a blunder. So we may have to add to this. Or is it a copyright? No, it is not a copyright. It is not a copyright, Deb, not for you. I probably should not have put these quite as close together. I should have left a little bit more space because I'm going to have a little bit more space than what I thought I was going to, but I think I have a way to fix that because we're already on the C, and I was thinking the C was going to be like down here. Oh well, we'll fix that. Not a problem. So I'm just lining that up. So what do you guys have planned for this Saturday of quarantine-ness? I was so excited when I've heard that parts of the country might open again. Hooray, hooray. Not having to be at home, being able to get back to church, see friends and family. Okay, so now our C is down. And then I'm going to peel off our C. And I'll get that dried as well. I can do one like this, Gabe, that actually says shady. If that's something that you're interested in, I can custom. Like I said, we can talk. All right, now on to the O. Just making sure that that is all dry. You know, I'm gonna let this cool down a little bit. Gabe, Deb and I are on the same team. We work for the exact same company. So she's just being a buddy and helping me out. Gotta help a girl out sometimes. Okay. So now we're on the O. I think that's down just a little too far. All right, there we go. Nuts. Did I do what I think I did? I think I might have made a boo-boo. I think I might have hit. I did. I got a little speck right there. But see how easy that just washes right off. All right, C-O. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have lots of space. Gabe, I could so put shady down at the bottom. I will have plenty of room to do that. Because our M will go right there, and then we have an E, and I probably have about that much space that'll be left over. So I could put a name in there, I could put a graphic in there. Hi, babe.
How are you?
I'm well. All right, just readjusting a little bit here.
You going to blend this today?
I'm hoping to.
Huh?
I'm hoping to.
What do you mean you're hoping to? Huh?
Yeah, a little bit later when I'm done with this.
Since you asked, I'll let you go.
I could put max capacity 10 people. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, so now we're ready for the M. Sorry, y'all, that was my hubby coming in. Oh, I will tell him, Gabe, he just headed out the door. Usually the hubs is on my videos when I'm doing these. If I have one person that supports me more than any other human I know, it would probably be my husband. He helps me with my boards. He helps me with the sharing of my videos. I am very, very blessed in that area. Okay. And there's our M. Now I gotta dig back out my E. Oh, there it is. Was he's a fox? Yeah. You're funny. You're hilarious. Hence, that's where my business name got its name. Was, because my last name is Fox. And my husband calls me the Foxy Chick. So, not that y'all probably wanted to know all that, but that is how Foxy Chick Designs got its name. All right. And now we're back to our lovely little E. I'm going to go ahead and lay that down. and smooth that out. And once I'm all done here, I will show you how easy these are to clean up. And even though they've sat for a little bit, you'll see really how easy they clean up. Okay. And there's our E. Yes, a blow dryer would work just well. Just perfect. I just, from my paper crafting days, I had a heat gun for heat embossing. And so it's just worked all this time. And so it's something, it's something that I just have grabbed and used. Hey, Melissa. Oh no, it's hot enough. And you're not really so much wanting it to be hot to dry it. It just needs the air to dry it. So that's why I've got it. I move this around because if I were to leave it on the paste, it will burn it. Because the heat tool is very, very hot. But just any kind of a blow dryer or something like that, that works just as well. Okay, so there is our welcome sign. And then I've got a little space. You know what? I'll actually show you. I have a little space down here that I could put a name or I could put a graphic. And I'm actually going to, I'm going to leave this blank for right now because if I don't find something that I want to put in there, I can also tie, ribbon or a bow or like our jute string, and I can put, something down here. So I'm not at this point real concerned that I have a little bit extra space down here. Because if I custom this for somebody, because it says welcome and I could put in my little font letters, I could put to the, and then a last name. So, that I'm not concerned about. But this is our project for today. And then I have these little guys here that I put on the back of them. Let's see. What's the number for the next to the letters? Oh, they are Scrabble letters. Let me show you here. They've got a border around them as well. So you can use them as, oh, okay, Gabe, perfect. I love talking to your agent. She's one of my favorite people on the planet. So they're Scrabble letters. So if you look at an actual Scrabble game, all of your Scrabble pieces have a letter, and that's why, or yes, they have a letter. Yes, definitely. Sorry, y'all. They have a number. And so when they created this Scrabble Letters font, they just put the numbers down there. So, and it makes it really neat. But I have these little sawtooth hangers that I put on the back. So it can be hung or it can be propped up, on like if you have on your porch, if you have a table, it can be propped up on a table, or it can have the sawtooth hanger and it can be hung. So, now that that is done, I'm going to set this aside and I'm going to show you how I clean up my stencils. But this is the finished product. You've got the mini plaid at the top, and then the word welcome, and then you've got the mini plaid at the bottom. Oh, yeah, I like that idea, Deb. for when I recreate it. That would be a perfect idea. And I'm knocking all kinds of stuff over. So then what I do to clean my stencils is I have these wonderful little microfiber towels. I got a pack of 8 of them, I believe it was, at our local dollar store. And they have been perfect to use. I'm going to go ahead and close up my white paste. So I am going to spray a little bit of water in there and get this all closed up. And then I'm going to just pull in a letter. I'm going to do the M. So I just lay it down on the microfiber and I spray it. I'm about out of water. But I just spray it and get it really wet. Then I have, with our company, we have what we call stencil cleaners. I don't know where mine is at the present moment, but I have these little if you're wondering, I have these little like magic erasers, and they work just as good, and I absolutely love them. And actually, to be honest with you, I actually love this better because it's a little bit easier to hold. It's not quite so thick, and for me, it cleans my stencils really well. And I just wipe across it, getting all of the chalk paste off. Then I peel it up and I flip it over. And I do the same thing. Grab my water again and get it all sprayed. Wipe off the back. And then I usually flip it back over again and do the front side one more time. And now that this is all clean, I bring in a clean one. I bring in one of my clean towels. I pull this off. I put it on my clean towel. Then I fold it in half and I just press out the water, making sure that it's all completely dry. Then I find my backer sheet, which they're all labeled because we labeled them before we started working. And this is why. Because then you just line these little guys up, press them back on, and yes, you can store them flat, and voila. And that's all that it takes to clean up your stencils. And they're ready to use. I could pull this back off and, reuse it again literally right now. If I was doing another project, I could just start using them all over again. So then that's what I do. Then I set them aside, and I usually don't put them back in their packaging that they come in. I let them sit out for a little bit and completely finish drying, but I like to get them back on their backer sheets just so that I don't lose them, ruin them. Because if you take really good care of your stencils, they will last a very long time. Really, it is all in the care of how you care for your stencils. If you don't take good care of them, they're not going to last nearly as long as what they could if you take care of them extremely well. So yep, as you can see, they clean up super easy, and it really doesn't take a lot of time. If I choose to, I can take them to my bathroom sink and I can get them cleaned up even faster. I just wanted to show you guys how easy they are to get clean and, putting them back on your backer sheets. So I'm going to pull you guys back up to me for a moment. So if you guys like what you saw, and since I'm having people fighting over these, if you'd like to get your hands on one, if you'd like to get your hands on a completed project, if you will message me, I will work with you to get one done. I've got multiple colors, so I can do them in different colors if you'd like. Message me and we can talk. The second thing is if you'd like to get your hands on these particular stencils. They are all in stock, and I'm actually going to post a link to my website, and you can just head over there and pick up your own products. I can't type and talk at the same time. All right, there we go. I posted my website here in the comments. You can just head over there and pick up your own products, and I would greatly appreciate that. Number 2, I have these whoa, I think my chair's about to give out. I have these lovely little sample kits. They come with a chalk chip, a small one of our mini stencils, and a stir stick, and a squeegee. And I have those for sale. Those are $8, and you can message me if you want to get your hands on one of those, just to try out the products and see if it's something that you like before you go ahead and place an order. The other thing I have is, if you would like to learn how to get paid to create like I do, if you would be interested in joining my team, if you will comment join in the comments, I have an opportunity video that I created that goes over every single thing that you need to know to make an educated decision on whether to join Magnolia Design Company and to join my team. And then I would love to answer any questions that you may have. The last thing that I have is, and for joining our team, we just launched a brand new get started kit, and it's $69 plus shipping and handling. But I can show you pictures and all of that if you're interested in joining my team or joining Magnolia Design Company. The last thing I have is my own VIP club. And what I'm doing right now is I'm going to be putting together bundles. I'm going to do 2 bundles each month. And then if you purchase that bundle, you'll get put into a private group, and that's where we will create with those products. And I'll show you what I can use with them, what I can do with them. The bundles are going to be about $25 to $30. And if you choose to sign up for the group, I ask that you join for 3 months, that you will get the 3 different bundles, one each month. That's just something fun that I want to do, to be able to get the products out there and also be able to create with you. I know right now it's a little difficult because we're all quarantined and we all can't go nowhere. And some people are getting very bored. And so I would like to put bundles together. I'm going to work on actually getting them up today, creating the bundles. And so keep an eye on my Foxy Chick Design page for those later on today. If they don't go up today, they'll go up tomorrow. But if you're interested in being a part of the VIP club, if you will comment club in the comments, I will make sure that you get all the information of what I'm going to do. So anyway, thank you so much for popping on. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to either message me or you can comment on this video. I do appreciate all of you taking your time out of your Saturday morning to hop on, and I will be back again on Tuesday evening for our Tuesday tutorial. So hope you have a great Saturday, have a great weekend, and I will see you all again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.